Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview Sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast. This is your co-host, Seth Greene. Today, I have good fortune to be joined by Marc Reifenrath of Spinutech, also the co-host of the Growth Fire podcast, a full-service digital marketing agency that develops data-driven strategies and forward-thinking solutions to grow their clients' businesses. Marc, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Well, let's go back in time and start at the beginning. How did you get into the business?
So the year was 2000. I was a junior at the University of Northern Iowa. The job market was not great. And so we started a business. It was really meant to be a resume builder. We built our own content management system to make websites updatable by themselves, and have slowly grown into a full service digital agency.
Well, congratulations on that. I'm sure the longer version of that story could fill a book somewhere if it hasn't already. So in 2000, websites were pretty much the thing. So you've obviously seen a whole lot of change in the last 23 years, starting out from a CMS platform to everything that you do now. Talk a little bit about how you've been able to manage the rate of change along the way.
So one thing I always said that we've done really well is we've adapted and changed. We've embraced change for 23 years. We've been, nothing but constant change. And in our space, whether it's websites and evolving digital marketing, content management system, that's a very common thing now. In 2000, it wasn't. It kind of got commoditized, and we've kind of gone up market to more complex situations for that, and multiple platforms, not just our own, that we offer. So change is just something that we have to be, embrace, and it's something we are going to do forever in this space, because it changes so quickly. It's weekly. There's something new and different every week. Absolutely.
How do you keep up with that?
Well, myself, lots of blogs, lots of conversations, massive amounts of content. But fortunately, one of my best traits is hiring people smarter than myself. And so we've got a great team that, is staying on top of their niche areas. And we do lots of Teach Us Tuesdays and Lunch and Learn type stuff to keep the team informed and really try to, we need to be the educators to our clients. We don't want somebody else in their ear filling it with their own propaganda, so to speak. We want it to be the truth and how these tools can impact, or how this trend or new platform can impact their business successfully.
That makes a lot of sense. Who's an ideal client for you now?
So our ICP, our ideal client profile, would be 100 million to $1 billion in revenue. Now, that's how we present ourselves from a cold outreach perspective, but we certainly have clients that are much smaller than that and clients that are way bigger than that. So it's really about a passionate, CMO or C-suite person that we're engaging with that wants to drive leads. We're about 90+% lead gen, our performance marketing. And so we want to get in there, ideally handle as much of the digital ecosystem as we can to make them all work together to net better results for them. So we just want somebody that's engaged, passionate about marketing, and they want to kick butt and have some amazing results.
Now, even on the small end of the scale that you present yourself with on cold outreach at 100 million, I mean, that's a big company. They certainly, you would assume, would have their own marketing department. Why are they turning to you guys to do some of that work?
Yeah, so they absolutely have their own marketing department that ranges in size. I mean, you'd be surprised. There might be a very small team, and there could be, we have a client that has over 125 people on their marketing team, one of our larger ones. And so it's really us coming in, filling the gaps, and also, the talent we're able to get can be very specific and niched in. So we don't just have generalists. We would have somebody that does SEO, and that's all they do. But then within SEO, what's their expertise within that? So it might be local, technical, on-site, off-site stuff. There's lots of different kind of paths you can go. We can go a lot deeper than what a lot of organizations are willing to invest in. And so you have a problem, we bring the right player to the game to solve that problem that they typically can't have internally. And so the other thing is, when you get to a larger internal team, how do they stay on top of trends? How do they get exposure to different problems? Where we're seeing a lot of different clients experiencing different challenges. When we solve those, it's oftentimes very applicable to all of our clients. So it can kind of fast track problem solving for them as well.
That makes a lot of sense. What are some of the bigger challenges that they're having that you're helping them solve?
Well, the last 12 to 24 months has been just the post-COVID hangover / economic changes. And there's just a weird flux of what's happening. There's the most inflation we're seeing is around paid search. Just the $1 today is definitely not $1 tomorrow. And so budgets are getting attacked, and they're wanting the same performance, but it's costing more. And then just performance in general for a lot of clients, depending on their industry. We got a little love drunk on 2020 and 2021 results, and we have to maybe level set our expectations back to a 2018, 2019 perspective to compare this year and possibly the next few as a little bit of a reset. So I think expectations are one, and then just understanding the market's very finicky right now. We're seeing maybe a little indecision from consumers at times. It's hard to track. There's no data that shows indecision. It's just maybe performance is down a little bit. But I say I'm very proud of our team, how we've been able to adapt and reinvent certain aspects of what we do for our clients to meet the challenges that they're currently presenting themselves to us.
Absolutely. And then how have you dealt with stuff like, the iOS update and all of the changes between, let's say, Apple and Facebook making, attribution and tracking harder?
Yeah. So, GA4 is another one I'd throw in that bucket that was pretty massive. And so, we try to do webinars, we try to do client education, try to keep them ahead of it. The one thing I think we all have to remember is, while they're trying to say we're going to get more privacy and less tracking, if they truly do that too deep, they can't make their money. They can't allow, people aren't going to spend the money with them, with Facebook and Google and whoever. And so it's probably a little bit more talk on the surface than what the reality of it actually will net out to be. There's still changes, obviously, but there's just different ways of doing it. And so we just have to get smarter. It's good for us. It forces clients to come to a professional, so to speak, to solve these problems. But it's just another challenge that we're experiencing. And, it's just maybe a little bit harder, a little bit different, but it's not that bad in the end.
With companies of that size, how do you get in the door?
Well, if you have ideas, I'm all ears. It's super hard. Our client oddly isn't going to click on an ad, and that's not where they go. They don't Google best digital marketing company. They're likely going to go to their network. They're going to rely on a reference or referral. So it's really a people-based decision thing. We need a network. We need to be out there and build relationships. So we have some good outbound tactics that are getting us conversations, but at the end of the day, it's really about putting ourselves in a position to get lucky. So, luck is, you can define it however you want, but to me, it's being in the right place at the right time to present an opportunity. And so we do a lot of speaking engagements, podcasts, events to network. And so you build relationships. And I still think relationships are one of the most powerful thing and most valuable thing in business. And we've done a really good job of doing the right type of networking over the last 23 years to get ourselves in great positions. What
inspired you to start the podcast?
So I kind of back to what I just said. I think the new speaking circuit is really all about podcasts. Post COVID, a lot of that stuff got shut down. I used to do a lot of speaking live in person. I've not done a ton of that in the last couple of years. I did a big one, and it kind of hit me in that moment, like, whoa, this is weird. I'm in person. I have to see all these people live. It's a little different on the screen. And so from my perspective, it's a great way to showcase thought leadership. And I don't want to talk about digital marketing. I mean, if we have a guest that wants to talk about it a little bit, sure. But I really want to present great leadership trends, culture, core values. That's something I'm very passionate about, and help share that with other C-suite leaders. That's who we need to connect with as C-suite leaders. So if I'm presenting some value to them, and then they want to figure out what is it exactly that they do, it's a path to that. And it's evergreen. It doesn't go away. It's not one-time speaking engagement live that then is done once I walk off the stage.
Absolutely. With all the success that you've achieved, what's your biggest challenge now?
Well, time is always a challenge. And, we've gone pretty much fully remote. We used to have 5 offices across the US. We now have 3, but we're in like 30 states of employment. So that in and of itself is a challenge. But then I would say, how do you ensure that 170 plus people have the same experience, have the same definition of what Spinutech is? And so we all stare at a screen like this all day, and that isn't the same as going into an office and building those bonds and relationships at a different level. And so the challenge is just, while we've been able to get amazing talent, it is, and this isn't just an us struggle, this is a remote work struggle of how do you redefine culture and have it be the same, similar, or better in this environment. So my challenge to our team is, let's not just wait for a book to get written or somebody to say how it's best. Let's set the bar. Let's set the standard for what that is. We're going to absolutely fail a lot, but let's have a good attitude about how to do this and really embrace that.
That makes a lot of sense. Your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
All of it. I think the challenge of every day of one, I love what we do. I love digital marketing. I love marketing in general. And so helping our clients be successful, we win, they win, we win. It's a win-win situation. So that's really fun. And so getting to the grind of that can be fun. But also I would say at this point is building other leaders, building other great team members. And I wouldn't even say that I need to take credit for that. It's not anything that I'm doing. It's as much as like, have we created a framework that allows people to become the best version of themselves? Are they being pushed and led in a way that is making them get better every day? That's what our first core value is. We get better every day. Are we fostering that growth? So that's really fun to watch. And you see individuals that come into our organization and you see them blossom, and that's not their ceiling though. They have so much more to go. And so that's really fun to watch. I'm really passionate about helping people kind of unlock that growth for themselves.
That's awesome. You've achieved some incredible results for all kinds of different clients. Can you give us a case study of here's what they were struggling with or what they wanted help with when they came to you, and then kind of where they've been able to go with your assistance?
Yeah. So we had a fun one in the beginning of this year. I won't name the client specifically for privacy, but they were a little leery to start out with us. They loved everything we were saying, but how do we know it's real? How do we know it's true? And so, I offered to, well, don't pay for the setup fees until we hit the 90-day mark, and you'll at 90 days, you'll be very happy. And so it was some paid search, SEM stuff. And we were able to save them $75,000 in spend because of some efficiency gains that we had. So cost went down, ROI went up, ROAS went up, return on ad spend went up, conversion rate went up. Everything about it went up. And so at 90 days, it was more of a conversation of not just here's your check, but we want you to also take on this thing and then the next thing. And so our team does a really good job, I would say, of analyzing how things have been going, using that data to, be more efficient in our spend, more targeted. There's a lot of AI tools that we can use to be more targeted and kind of make some of the decisions that we used to manually have to make, but we've still got a great team of strategists kind of keeping it inside the rails, so to speak. And so, those are really fun. But I would say a more common challenge, that's very common, but also lots of clients come to us with an SEO challenge, so search engine optimization. And we've been able to kind of map out a growth for several clients where we say we think we can achieve 150% organic growth in 12 months. And we've got 2 clients we did that in 9 months for. And so, localization at scale is a big challenge for a lot of nationwide clients. And we've got some great strategies we've deployed that have worked extremely well for that. And you can just see that growth when you start to roll that out, and all of a sudden the hockey stick takes off. And that's just really fun for our team as well as the client to be able to share in that success and look at what we accomplished together.
That is absolutely incredible. You've referenced the team a lot of times. Can you talk a little bit about how you've been able to recruit, hire, train, maintain culture in our, as you mentioned, post-pandemic world when you've got a workforce that isn't all in one place?
Yes. So, obviously the last couple of years, the workforce has been really finicky for a lot of reasons. There was the great resignation, whatever we want to call it. And now this year, I think that's all really slowed down for a lot of people because of the economy. So we do a lot of things. One of the things that we've had for maybe 3 or 4 years now is what we call GB8. It's our Get Better 8 hours. And that's 8 hours a month that's devoted to self-development. And so we use Udemy for one of the training platforms. And we also have a lot of live events with trainers and internal staff that are team members that present on a subject. And really the goal is to, Seth, what are your goals this year? What do you need to get better at? And working with your leader to outline that and identify it. And then, month by month, quarter by quarter, what are you doing to achieve that? Have you taken this course? Have you taken that course? That kind of that accountability partner. So I think that we get better every day mentality. It's kind of our Notre Dame sign we tap every morning before we walk onto the field of play. But we don't just say that we mean it. It's about just in time, it's about a $15,000 to $16,000 a year investment per team member, plus all of the hard costs of training and platforms and all that. But again, I always say we're chasing 0.01s, both for our clients and our team members, that compounding interest of growth. If you have 170 plus people getting a little bit better each day, each week, each month, each quarter, each year, that's a pretty big impact when you multiply that times 170 people and all that time. So I don't think a lot of companies truly make that investment. They like to say that they do and tout big numbers and big stats, but is it real? And one of the best compliments we get from our team once they've been here, post 100 days-ish, is everything you guys talked about in the interview process is real. And so back to your point about how do you recruit and so one of the things we're focused on is attracting, retaining, and growing both great team members as well as clients. And so we want to attract the best in both of those categories. We want to grow them. We want to grow team members' talent pool and abilities, and we want to grow obviously financially and strategically with our clients. And then we want to retain them. Keeping both of those things is you worked hard to get them. So how we recruit, I have a very simple rule. We want the best person for the job. We have a couple simple things. They've got to be a good culture fit, and they've got to, be in line with our core values. So it's pretty simple, but the culture core values thing can weed some people out. A lot of our questions are definitely geared toward that. But we recruit all over the US. Like I said, we're in 30 states. So that's been an awesome side effect of COVID, is we used to only hire in office or in market. And now we're much bigger market pool that we can pull from. So it was challenging for different reasons a year ago. And it's challenging now because there's some of the good talent isn't looking. So we kind of have to pull them out of the woodwork as opposed to them looking for a new job right now.
That makes a lot of sense. For our folks who are watching and listening and want to learn more, where is the best place for them to go to learn more about you, the firm, and the show?
Yeah, so I post a lot on LinkedIn. So you can just do, LinkedIn / or just Google or look up my name, Marc, M-A-R-C, Reifenrath, R-E-I-F-E-N-R-A-T-H. Happy to connect. You can comment on any of my posts. You can check out the podcast, which I post on there as well. And then spinutech.com is also where the company is at. And there's lots of great thought leadership coming from them as well.
Awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. We know it's incredibly valuable. This has been Seth Greene for Sharkpreneur with Marc from Spinutech. Marc, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.
49 faces looked to him in triumph. Over the last 12 months, they had each taken turns and promoted his business for a week at a time, driving over $987,342 in revenue. What if you had a network of 50 centers of influence who promoted your business every week for a year? Grab your copy of the #1 Amazon best-selling book, The Ultimate Guide to Growing Your Business with a Podcast, at 33% off the Amazon price by going to ultimatepodcastbook.com. Again, that website for 33% off the Amazon price is ultimatepodcastbook.com.